All right, everyone, this is a funny story. The Democrats are angry about this, and I can't imagine why. Glenn Youngkin's administration in Virginia plans to send out state tax rebates right before the election happens. Not for 2024, not the next one, but this particular election. That's when the checks are going out. So people, when they go to the polls, will be feeling a little bit less financial stress. They will have a little bit more maybe in their bank account, especially for people that get a tax return. Man, I wish I could get one of those things. Even when I was making, not even minimum wages worth of income, still no tax return because I get hit with the self-employment penalty. That's 15% off the top that the U.S. government robs from me, regardless of what happens. It's incredible. The way the tax system works in the United States is so goddamn stupid. It makes absolutely no sense. Look into the very basics of tax law. I can't even imagine, being a CPA or something. You must, white knuckle it on your head every single day, looking at people's returns and all the shit numbers that you have to deal with, and you're like, this doesn't even make any sense. I can calculate it, but philosophically, it just doesn't make sense at all. This is very shrewd, and it's probably corrupt. I have to say that the Democrats do have a point with regards to this issue. This is clearly deliberate. You didn't accidentally choose 1 week, a very, very important frame of time. That's long enough for the money to last for a lot of those people. So they can get a little extra beer, they can pay off an extra bill, they feel a little bit better, they look at their bank account and it's not, moths, basically, and they're more likely, therefore, to vote for the status quo. It's simply a tiny marginal mood lift for a small subsection of the voters within Virginia. When they go to the polls, they feel a little bit better. They're more likely, therefore, to vote for the incumbents, with the Republicans mainly. And that's the reason that this is being done. The Dems actually have a point. You see they have few of them lately. What I would say about Youngkin himself, of course, he's unilaterally taking the blame for this. The Dems are partially wrong for that. Some people castigate him as being like a corporate politician, like an empty suit sort of dude. I'm amenable to thinking that might be the case, although, this is shrewd. You may consider it corrupt, but it is smart for political reasons. I'm sure that there are Dem administrations that the state level that do the same thing, and it doesn't get news coverage as much. I don't have a huge problem with him, though. I would say looking forward to 2028, since unlike DeSantis, he had the intelligence to wait despite clearly he has presidential ambitions. But he sat back and said, look, I'm not that old. By political standards, I'm reasonably young. I've got a chance to do this in the future. Number one, I don't want to go up against Trump. That's probably a bad idea because at least a minority, a sizable one, of the Republican Party fucking loves the dude. And if I'm going to win, I'm going to need them to vote for me, so I don't want to piss them off. Fuck Trump, says Youngkin. Clearly he hasn't endorsed yet. I don't care about him, but I really care about his fans. What DeSantis did opposite this was he said, I don't give a shit about them. They're just going to vote for me because I believe that their ideology can be parsed from the person who frames the ideology, which is goddamn stupid. It's also why he's probably now going to come in third in Iowa and then drop out of the race. Youngkin is shrewd. He's smart. I'm not saying that makes him a good guy. There are plenty of smart politicians that are strategic geniuses that are corrupt as hell. Look at Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is a goddamn kingmaker. He downs his own candidates effortlessly in order to prevent a rise in populism in the U.S. Senate for the 22 election. He successfully did that. He is an expert he's a whiz-bang with regards to Senate procedural stuff, but he's evil. Unfortunately, evilness and intelligence often go hand in hand. This is why the world has problems. Because most people are, maybe not dumb, but they're not particularly bright. They're not bad people. They're not trying to be bad. They don't screw others over. A little corruption here and there. Okay, you cheated a little bit on your taxes. Nobody cares. You got a 20 back instead of a 10 from the cashier at Walmart, and you decided not to tell them that you knew that you only had $10 coming to you, and so you made $10 off of Walmart's back. Might suck for the cashier. I don't know what their internal rules are for that, but yeah, fuck Walmart, so who cares? A little bit of corruption. but nothing too terrible. Most people are just sort of average. They're not trying to be an evil genius or anything like that. People who tend to accede to power, that want it, don't deserve it. This is a long-standing issue within humanity. You probably have a philosophy course on just this one single topic and all of the various opinions about it. In fact, it probably exists at some eclectic university out there. Youngkin is very shrewd. He's smart. He's calculating. He's waiting. And he's in for 28. I will goddamn eat my hat that I literally don't own, so I won't have to eat anything, if he doesn't throw his hat in the ring in 28, unless there is a very, very strong contender. Like Trump has chosen the perfect running mate, and the VP's popular, so it's not like Kamala or Dick Cheney or something, or Biden when he was VP. It's a really popular, well-spoken individual. The Trump does really well, and that VP becomes basically like a Herbert Walker heir apparent, regardless of their actual qualifications. Then Youngkin, because he's shrewd, might stand out one more time. Otherwise, I suspect that he gets in. This is quite clearly a calculated move. You can't tell me this is coincidental. It's almost election interference. But I was told that doesn't exist unless it involves the Russians. I suppose that Glenn Youngkin, the missing link Republican, he's kind of a Cruz figure. I suppose that he's an ally of Moscow now. It's clearly calculated. You got to respect the shrewdness, though. And when they cry foul, it makes it sound like sour grapes because there's always that plausible deniability aspect to it. So it makes the Democrats look like it's just they're being a sourpuss or something like that. And I enjoy watching that. It's sort of a master move, actually. It's sort of like when DeSantis had a couple of these. It's sort of like when he sent immigrants to Martha's Vineyard. It was masterful. He exposes the NIMBYists. People are uproariously laughing at the hypocrisy. It was great. And by the way, that was one of the funniest things since the Chaz Garden. Unfortunately, we don't have enough funny news like that. That's what I want more of. I want more funny news. Things that are cringeworthy, NIMBYistic, and stuff like that really get my goat. So send me more of that stuff instead of, pictures of dead Jews and Palestinians all the time, because that's half the news tips, unfortunately. It's the nature of mankind, the ape-like species. Now, this is shrewd, but it's also corrupt. There's my analysis in a nutshell. I think that it's both. I don't think that we have to choose one side or the other on this one. That's about all. Peace out.